Well, good morning, everyone. David Paul speaking. I'm the Managing Director of VectorVest in the UK. And as you know, based on Mr. Powell's speech last Thursday, markets have taken a nosedive where he said that he believed that they had to increase the pace of putting up interest rates. Market didn't like that at all. And we've sold off right back to the lows of the year. My question, is it time to go bottom fishing? The bottom fishing technique, as I'll describe in a second, is a very aggressive technique to look for a bounce in the market. That bounce could follow through to a trending move, but what we're really after is a bounce in the market. The last bounce that we had in the middle of March led to a 10% move in a few weeks. So what I'm going to speak about, folks, is for the most aggressive traders, and those more conservative fellows will want to leave it well alone. So there we are. That's the UK market since the COVID sell-off. Some great time. Then all of a sudden the market went into what's obviously now a distribution pattern. It fell through the ice of my little trend line, and it fell right down to the lows now of the year. That was in the middle of March. Now, the UK market hasn't fallen back anywhere close to that, but we've moved back down to a long-term sell signal. So if you've got positions in the market, folks, you should be watching your stop losses very carefully indeed. My portfolio is doing, that I reported here the last time I was in core finance, is hanging in there. No great performance, but it's hanging in there. But I had to get out of Anglo-American. I stopped out of Anglo-American last Thursday at my entry point. Gave back quite a bit of money, but I didn't lose any money, and capital preservation is everything. Now there's the American market, and that's over the last, 6 months. And the American market, apart from a couple of weeks at the start of April, has been in a downtrend the whole time and remains in that downtrend. And as you can see, yesterday we came off the lows of the year, and that's the potential bottom fishing opportunity. Interestingly enough, at those lows, as those lows were recorded from March until yesterday's low, there was a huge amount of volume going in at those levels. So there are buyers at those levels. And yesterday, when the US market opened, there was a very strong volume buying at the 4,200 level. So that bodes well. We would need a follow through to day to day to add conviction. But I have a small position long of the SPX that I've held overnight based on just simply buying that low when the market was oversold. So in terms of operating our VectorVest market timing system, we have two proprietary indicators. The first is called the buy-sell ratio. And every day VectorVest puts a buy or a sell recommendation to every share on the market, both the UK market, the American market, Canadian, Australian, the whole of Europe. And we calculate the buy-sell ratio. And the buy-sell ratio indicates the internal composition of the market. And although I could spend ages talking about this particular indicator, when the buy-sell ratio gets down to less than 0.2, in other words, there's 5 times more companies in the American market on a sell than on a buy, then that's a mega oversold situation, and invariably that makes the market very, very susceptible to any good news where we could have a bounce. So the first requirement of our bottom fishing criteria is that the buy-sell ratio of the overall market is less than 0.2. The second criteria, in fact, that's a chart of it, going right back to the lows of the 2007, 2008, early 2009 sell-off, where we had a very good one day up from a mega oversold situation on the buy-sell ratio. The buy-sell ratio there was down at 0.1, and we moved up very, very nicely, as you know, from there. That's not the objective of the methodology. When it happens and we get a follow through that goes on for months and years, that's just wonderful. But we're looking to try and clock a 10% move in a couple of weeks. That's what we did in March. Now, the second indicator is called the market timing indicator, which is a mixture of the price of the index, the momentum of the index, and the buy-sell ratio all rolled into one single number. And ladies and gentlemen, when the MTI is above 1, the market's rising. When the MTI is below 1 on a scale between 0 and 2, the market's falling. And when the MTI gets down to less than 0.6, that again records a mega oversold situation where again the market's very susceptible to any good news that could easily cause a very fast bounce. Again, going back to that major bottom way back in 2008, 2009, market turned around, as you can see, on the 10th of March 2009, and it turned around when the MTI in fact was right down at 0.37. Okay, now that's where we are at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Intraday yesterday, before the turnaround, we hit those two levels of less than 0.2 and less than 0.6. But the end of the day, with that little bounce up, the MTI, in fact, bottomed out at the end of the day at 0.63, the buy-sell ratio at 0.25. So we're in mega oversold territory down there. And I believe it's time to go bottom fishing. I would like to see another follow-through day. And on the VectorVest program in UniSearch, we have a range of searches that will locate stocks that have been oversold, that should bounce very strongly indeed. And you can test all of that on VectorVest. We give a 30-day trial of the product for £5.95, and you can go back to the middle of March. And in the middle of March, this little bounce, in fact, produced a 10% move in 2 weeks. Not 10% in a year, but 10% in 2 weeks, very quickly indeed. So the bottom fishing technique, a proprietary technique that's been used very successfully all over the world for many years. It is not for conservative investors. It's for those investors that can manage risk and have a track record of managing risk without fear or hesitation. So that's something that I'm looking at today. I hope you found this useful. As I say, if you want a trial of VectorVest, just go to vectorvest.co.uk and you can take a 30-day trial. Also, I'll be speaking about VectorVest at the IAC show, which is in Holborn on Friday, and we'll be there the whole day. I have 2 presentations, one on conservative investing and another one on shorter-term swing trading towards the end of the day. I look forward to seeing you there. Bye-bye.